Howdy, howdy, howdy. Um, my name is Daniel Escalante, and I would like to show you my final Camtasia report on Comm 230 on Google Sites. So let's go ahead and check out my final Google site. Well, underneath the Home tab, there's an About Me section, gives you a little bit of an introduction of who I am and what I like. And underneath is a LinkedIn account. So we'll go ahead and click on that. LinkedIn's a great place for like an online resume and social networking. I still need to work on it because I'm fairly new to LinkedIn. So, although I am a telecommunication major, I really like music in audio production. Underneath, you can see that I have some photos of the speakers, the microphones, the hardware and software that I use, and just kind of old pictures of me performing. Now, Google Sites was acting really weird when I was adding pages. Um, the the site wouldn't let me add a page that was a web page, but it will only add as a sub page, and created this kind of tile looking format. But anyways, we'll go ahead and click on the app user testing. Underneath are three different papers that we had to write about. First is the analysis of the app. The app that I chose was Donald Trump's app, which is America's First. It really wasn't that visually stimulating, and it was just more factual and a bunch of words all together, and it was just kind of noisy in general. And you can see below that how I rated the interface, and you here I bolded very noisy as the app's interface. And then underneath is the actual test that I gave to my partner, and his name was Morgan. And he kind of he did all the tasks that I asked him to do, which were fairly easy, but it wasn't something. Well, the app isn't something that I would suggest getting. Um, Next, I would like to take you to the blogs that I've wrote. These are the past blogs that I've wrote, and this is kind of like another introduction, a bunch with some songs that I've made or the projects that I've created. Second, I talk about the theory of the long tail and the how content is so diversified and so niched and so much. There's just so much more content out here these days since technology has advanced. And then the third blog, I talk about the four factors of technology and how it affects users when content or new things come out. As another blog or article, my partner Morgan talks about how Uber wants to track your location even when you're not using the app. It is actually a standard in applications that they would like to know your location. I necessarily don't know why, but it's just something that I've seen while downloading apps, and my guess is that they just want to know your location so they could use that data for furthering the experience of the app. And then next, I would like to talk about Generation Like, which is a video that we watched in class, and it talks about how likes from social media influence you and how companies use that to advertise to you and find content that appeals to you. Next is a video game lab that we did, and it's the Stanley Parable. I love this video game. I would recommend it to all ages and all audiences because there are endless possibilities, and it kind of reminded me of Allegory of the Cave, which was by Plato, and it was very philosophical, I believe. Next, under the presentations blog, this is going to replace the this video is going to replace this video within the midterm. So we'll just move on to projects. Under projects, I have edited video. This is from TasteBud, which was an app that allows you to get discount off of your food. The Gender and Technology podcast. These are podcasts that I've uploaded on SoundCloud, and I embedded it into here. And I did this as a media player instead of trying to download the audio, because that is very inefficient. So here's the same thing, but it's just a different podcast or an older podcast. Under resume, I updated my resume and I put video editing and fact checking and audio production and editing, because throughout this course, Comm 230, we would have to know what types of software to use, and it was a great class or course to get your feet wet in technology. And here's the social media aggregator. I didn't do it with LinkedIn because it was giving me some technical difficulties, but I used it with Twitter, and I used the hashtag audio production, so it gives me all the latest tweets of people hashtagging it, and just the types of softwares or kind of cool audio concepts that are coming out. And yep, that was the last thing that I would like to show you. And then on my homepage, well, I'll just end it on my homepage, and I would like to thank you for listening to my final report, and I wish you a great day.